If you don't know what that is, then you probably have not seen The Hunger Games. Right now, I'm going over the review of the Catching Fire trailer. I just watched it. It just premiered at the San Diego Comic-Con, which originated just for as a comic book convention, but has then expanded hugely into like this big, huge movie, television, big mecca. Like it's like the convention where everything gets exposed, where everything is big announcements happen. Another big announcement at Comic-Con was Zack Snyder, the director of Man of Steel, announced that they were going to do a Superman Batman World's Finest movies. I'll believe that when I see it, knowing DC's track record, knowing that they're not on the ball like Marvel is. Now, later today, I know Marvel's going to be invading Hall H as usual, and Marvel's going to take over the convention, especially like they did 3 years ago in 2010 when they brought out the entire Avengers cast, and they said, and from what I was told, you could hear the entire room shaking when they brought out Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, Mark Ruffalo, Jeremy Renner, Scarlett Johansson, Samuel L. Jackson, and director Joss Whedon were all there at Comic-Con. Basically, Marvel saying, people don't really think we're really going to make this Avengers movie, but guess what? The shit's going down right now. We're going to make it. And once we wrap up with Captain America, once we get these other films out, we're going to be shooting the Avengers. And then, of course, the Avengers ended up making $623 million at the U.S. box office. Now, on to the Hunger Games. Now, I'm going to go backtrack. Well, if you don't know what the Hunger Games is, best-selling book series from author Suzanne Collins, big-time book series, won a bunch of Peabody Awards, was on one of the, people want to compare it to Twilight. It ain't nothing like Twilight. And then they say it ripped off Battle Royale. I did a video on the whole thing, why it's not like Battle Royale. Trust me, it's not like Battle Royale. The first film came out on March 23rd of 2012, starring Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, Liam Hemsworth, Elizabeth Banks, Stanley Tucci, Lenny Kravitz, Alexander Ludwig, Jack Quaid, Levin Rambin, who I think should be more of the Enchantress in the Thor film, and Donald Sutherland, and made $408 million at the U.S. box office, especially and on an $80 million budget. That's 5 times his production budget, and was the first movie out of the big 6 movies studios, outside of those, with the big 6 being Paramount, Disney, Warner Brothers, Sony, Universal, and Fox. It was the first movie out of the outside of the big 6. It's distributed by Lionsgate to make $400 million, and its opening weekend it made $152 million, the largest outside of summer or holiday movie release. In fact, that $152 million, that was just the 3rd largest opening weekend of 2012. 3rd largest, and it was $152 million. Why? Because you had the Avengers opening up to $207, and you had the Dark Knight Rises opening up to $175. So, and of course, people knew those 2 films were going to blow up the box office, and Hunger Games was the 3rd highest grossing film of the year. Now, this next film, Catching Fire, will open up November 22nd of this year, and there's only been, I could see it coming close to being number 1 movie of the year. I expect it to be at least number 2, because Iron Man 3 obviously has exploded at the box office. Superman's going to pass 300 million or come close to it, but I think Catching Fire is going to make more. It's going to make more than Superman. More than Iron Man? That I don't know. And Mockingjay, the third book, is been split into 2 films, and they're going to open those same weekends in 2014 and 2015. So basically, the next 3 Thanksgivings, we have a Hunger Games film, and Thanksgiving is a huge time to open up a movie, especially during Thanksgiving break when kids are out of school. People might, instead of going shopping on the day after Thanksgiving, which is obviously supposed to be Black Friday, which is supposed to be the biggest shopping day of the year, guess what? Movie theaters are busy that day. And they're also busy on Thanksgiving Day, too. Some people might not want to watch football that day. They might want to go to the movies. Or when they get tired of their relatives, they go to the movies just to get away from the relatives. That's what people even do on Christmas Day. They want to get away from the relatives sometimes. You don't want to be with your in-laws. So anyhow, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to review the new Catching Fire trailer. This is the new one that just debuted at Comic-Con. This is the brand new one. Let me find the right one on YouTube. Because you know what, I know a website that has it. Hold on. Alright, this is the new one. Now, I'm going to try to keep this from being hugely spoiler free. Sometimes these players sometimes don't work. I hate that. But trying to find the right link. But there are some new cast members in this film. There are. Now, I'm going to try to explain. I'm going to put it right here, right now. If you have not seen the first movie, if you have not read the first book, or if you have not read the second book, I'm going to tell you right now, there are big time spoilers coming up. I'm dead serious. There are big time spoilers because I'm going to be explaining stuff if you've not read the book. Now, I will say this about the trailer. They do put a plot twist, at least 2 plot twists in there. One was the biggest one. They did put the biggest plot twist in there. I will say that. They did put the biggest plot twist in there. I try to avoid talking about Catching Fire with people who have not read the book, because if they have not read the book, I don't want them to... Sometimes when you go to the movies, the element of surprise is always a good thing. I love the element of surprise. Now, granted, I read the book. I read the book, and I know what happens. Yes, I know what happens. But still, when you translate it to the big screen, it's still something that you still want to experience. I love the element of surprise sometimes, and I like that. So here it is, right here. You'll be able to hear the trailer possibly, and I'm going to explain how it is. So what I suggest doing is right now, put me in a split screen and watch the trailer, and I'm going to discuss it at times. Now, right here, this is the first scene right here. So right now, when I'm telling you, I'm going to give you a chance. Pause me right now. Do a split screen. Get a split screen also of go to YouTube. The trailer's up on YouTube. It's also on Yahoo Movies right now. Or by the time, I mean, if you watch this video after today, yeah, by now it's up on YouTube. It's the second trailer for Catch Fire, not the first one that was in theaters. It's about the one that debuted at Comic-Con. Look for that one. So split screen it right now. Split screen it right now. For those who do not know what's happening, you'll know what I'm talking about. I mean, for those who know what I'm talking about, I'm going to explain. This is the very first scene. You'll see it right here. It says Victor's Village. Now, as you know, if you've seen the first film, Katniss and Peeta won the Hunger Games. They backstabbed the government by saying there's supposed to be only one victor, but instead there's 2, because Katniss like, what if they don't have to have their victors? So you'll see it says Victor's Village. For everywhere in the Hunger Games, they have these already made homes in a part of their district, already laid out, like big homes, mansions, actually, and you get all the money in the world. So the only people now that are living in the Victor's Village are Katniss, Peeta, and Haymitch, because Haymitch had won the Hunger Games. And for a long time, Haymitch had been the only person living in the Victor's Village. So that's the first thing you see in this trailer. So I'm going to let it play all the way up to where it says Lionsgate, and I'm going to tell you or explain some of that stuff.
I understand that whatever I do, it comes back to you.
And she's talking to her sister Prim. Because if you remember, she sacrificed herself to go to the games for her sister Prim. Prim was chosen. And you see the Capitol right there?
Something.
Of course, the Mockingjay pin. And there's Katniss and Peeta. It looks like they're going to the Capitol. And if you pause it right there, you saw the Mockingjay symbol. And there's Katniss and Peeta right now where it looks like it's District 11. And there's a gentleman doing Katniss's salute, what I did at the beginning. And she's explaining that Katniss is bringing people hope. Prim is, who's played by Willow Shields. As you know, Katniss Everdeen is played by Jennifer Lawrence.
You say this.
And for some reason, my player is messing up. So go back to that part. Yahoo player. I admit I hate the Yahoo player. For some reason, the YouTube one is not working right properly. So let me explain that. Okay. Now, okay, I got. Are you rounded back to that part? And this part right here, again, Katniss sneaks into the woods. She still does that, despite living in the Victor's Village. She still does that. You see her by a lake. Okay.
I can't go on acting for the cameras,
And you hear Peeta saying he can't go on for acting for the cameras. You see the cameras right there around Peeta and Katniss. Remember, they are pretending to be in love. You know, remember they were pretending to be. Katniss doesn't really want a boyfriend.
Ignoring each other in real life.
And there's a riot going on. The odds are never in your favor. Remember that.
To be eliminated. I agree, but in the right way, the right time.
Now, I'll pause it right there. As you see, there's President Snow played by Donald Sutherland. And I will tell you this right now ahead of time. You will see how diabolical, evil, manipulative, demonic, pure evil President Snow is in this. And you see right there, that is Philip Seymour Hoffman, Academy Award winner, playing Plutarch Heavensbee. He's the new game maker because Seneca Crane, who's played by Wes Bentley, either died by starvation or ate nightlock berries. We don't know how, because they didn't show it, but because Katniss and Peeta wanted to eat the nightlock to kill themselves, President Snow is getting rid of it. President Snow, think of him like the head don of a mafia. He will get rid of you in some way, shape, or form. So Philip Seymour Hoffman plays Plutarch Heavensbee. He's the new game maker. When I read the book, I pictured John Goodman in that role because he's pictured as a portly fat guy. But I have no objections with Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's fantastic. But he's saying he agrees Katniss should be eliminated. And you see District 12 being raided.
People want to fight.
And you see Gale saying people want to fight. And he kisses her. And look who's watching it right there. President Snow. And he's visiting her in her house.
The different dreamers. Like something in the real war.
He wants to know if she wants to be in the real war.
People scared. Their loved ones gone.
Boom. President Snow is threatening Katniss right there. He knows her relationship with Peeta is a ruse. He doesn't like being played as a fool, especially on national television. But now this part right here is very important. I'm going to pause it after a certain part and I'm going to explain it.
What do I need to do?
This is the 75th year of the Hunger Games. The tributes are to be reaped from the existing pool of victors.
Okay, that's a huge spoiler. So if you have not read the books, I hate to break it to you, and you saw this, then that's one of the big plot twists that you won't have the element of surprise in the film. But I'll explain why it is. Every 25 years, they do something special for the Hunger Games. They call it the Quarter Quell. They add a little twist to the Hunger Games. The 25th Hunger Games, and these are explained in the books. And you can look at the Hunger Games Wikipedia as well. 25th Hunger Games, people in the district had to vote on which kids had to go into the arena. That's bad. The 50th Hunger Games, the one that Haymitch won, the one Woody Harrelson's character plays, they had double the amount of tributes. 48. 2 boys, 2 girls from each district. And that arena, I want them to put that in the movie. I need them to at least show at least 5 minutes of that. The one that Woody Harrelson won. Because that was described as the poison arena. Now, somebody on YouTube did a video. A couple Hunger Game fans did a video of just the second Quarter Quell. It's about 10 minutes long, but it pretty much goes, except one part in it where they drank water and the water was poison anyway in the book. Like the water and like everything, the water, the food, the plants, everything was poison. So the only food you could get is if you got it from sponsors. So that's the one Haymitch won. So now this one, here's what I'm going to tell you. And this is what a lot of us agree on, that are Hunger Game fans. That President Snow wants to get rid of Katniss. He wants to find a way to get rid of Katniss. So what he did was he changed the envelope in he opens up this box that has an envelope that has the number 75 on it. And that's supposed to be what it is. This was decided long ago, apparently, what these Quarter Quells were. Well, a lot of people think that President Snow manipulated it. He took that envelope out. He put in another one where he's like, this is the way I'm going to get rid of Katniss. Where he's going to have what it is, an all-star version of the Hunger Games. And what that means is past winners must go back into the arena. It's not kids between the ages of 12 and 18 anymore. It's it consists of people of all types of ages in the arena. And
75th year of the Hunger
hold on,
Games.
I just hit it back right there. That means past winners. Now here's why. Katniss, Peeta, and Haymitch are the only living ones from District 12 that won the Hunger Games. There was another one long before, but that person has since died. They didn't say if it was a guy or girl. Since Katniss is the only girl, by default, she has to go back into the arena. And there's other ones that show back up, that'll come in to play. And the ones from District 1 and 2, no, Katniss took out. Katniss took out Glimmer and Marvel from District 1, and she took out Cato from District 2. And those are the career districts. They're pissed as hell off at her. So now you're going to see more of the Capitol. I think the Capitol looks better in this one. Obviously, they've used more of a budget for this film.
The tributes are to be reaped from
There's you see Effie Trinket looking all worried. She's got a different Lady Gaga-ish outfit on, and
I get to say goodbye.
they will let her say goodbye to her sister.
I think these games are going to be different.
You see there the third Quarter Quell. There's Caesar Flickerbill with different hair this year. He changes his hair every year. There's Cinna. Now look at this right here. There's the Mockingjay dress. Now this is another spoiler that's going to be shown later in the trailer. Now there's a good shot right there of the dress. That's supposed to be her wedding dress. I'm not going to go into that spoiler, but yes, that is her wedding dress. But in a minute, you'll see what it change. In a few seconds, you'll see what it changes into. In about 30 seconds.
I want you guys to forget everything you think you know about the game.
Now, okay, right there's the first shot. Here you go, ladies. The moment you've been waiting to see. Finnick Odair, District 4 winner from the 65th or 64th Hunger Games. Correct me, I know it was the 65th or 64th because if he's 24 and he won it, he was 14 when he won it, he's supposed to be 24, so that would be 65th Hunger Games. When the 65th Hunger Games got the most expensive sponsorship weapon of all time, a trident, like Poseidon has. A trident. It was given to him, he used a trident and net, he used it to win. District 4 is fishing, so the swimming part and the fishing was used to his advantage in that. And his mentor was Max, who's going to be back in this. She's played by Lynn Cohen. I know she'd been a judge on Law and Order, but she plays Max, who's like 80 years old. But she volunteered for his girlfriend, Annie Cresta, who won the Hunger Games because they flooded the arena, and she was the best swimmer. She won the Hunger Games without even killing somebody. She saw somebody get decapitated, went into a crazed mental state, went into hiding. They flooded the arena. She survived because she was the best swimmer. So she and Finnick are actually an item. But there you go, ladies. You see Finnick in a fishnet type skirt type thing and without a shirt on. Looks like he could be Aquaman, which I'm going to get. Hold on a minute. I will get to Aquaman in a minute. But yeah, there it looks like he's from Atlantis. There you go, ladies. He's Sam Claflin. Not my first choice. He was in Snow White and the Huntsman and Pirates of the Caribbean 4. My choice was Garrett Hedlund from Tron Legacy. He would have been perfect for that role. He was considered. Lionsgate wanted to cast him, but Garrett Hedlund turned it down because he said he didn't have time to read the book. Dumb move, Garrett. And right here you'll see Inabaria. I think she's from District 2. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think she was a District 2 winner. I want to say it was 60. Katniss remembers her winning, so it wasn't too long ago. that she won their Hunger Games. Inabari is played by Meta Golding, and if she looks somewhat familiar, she had about a 6 or 7 episode arc on Criminal Minds. It was when AJ Cook, who plays JJ Jarrell on Criminal Minds, she was on maternity leave on the show, her character on the show, and AJ Cook, the actress in real life, were on maternity leave. So she played Special Agent Jordan Todd, who is the communications officer for the FBI. Meta Golding plays Inabaria, and if you see her teeth being very sharp, now I think they're going to change it in post-production, more post-production, because you see her teeth are very sharp, like edged out, like my canines here. Yeah, these are real. These are real. But imagine these are right here. Yeah, these are actually. I know people think I'm a real vampire sometimes. I get asked that all the time. That these are my real teeth. But all her teeth are sharp. But in the book, it has they're like gold and they have jewels on them. Why they're like that? She won her Hunger Games by killing her final opponent by ripping the person's throat out with her teeth. She went ripped the person's throat out. So she fashioned them like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty creepy. So she's back, but in a way, she's going to end up being an ally for Katniss. Now that, when I mentioned Aquaman, that's Alan Richardson, who is playing Gloss, and Gloss's sister Kashmir is in it. Gloss is from District 1, a former career who won the Hunger Games. You can see why do I mention him being Aquaman? Because he played Aquaman in Smallville, when Aquaman had been in a recurring role over the years on the show Smallville. Well, Arthur Curry, but yeah, we know Aquaman. He was Aquaman, and right now, I know he's now going to play one of the Ninja Turtles in the remake. He's in the motion capture suit. I don't remember which Ninja Turtle he's going to play off the top of my head, but we're not going to see his face on screen. But he plays a former District 1 winner, and you can see he's pretty deadly because he was a former career. And I like these special effects right here. And right here is Jenna Malone as Johanna Mason from District 7, and she won the Hunger Games. Now, when Katniss first meets her, she's bare naked. I don't think we're going to see that in the film. But Johanna becomes yeah, that is Johanna Mason. I want to make sure. Yeah, that is her. And I like this training exercise right here. Pretty cool. Pretty futuristic. And right here, bam! She twirls around. Her dress turns from flames and turns into the feathers of a mockingjay. Remember, Katniss's pen was the Mockingjay pen. She's become a symbol, a Mockingjay symbol. Cinna designed her outfit to do that. And right here, look at the look on President Snow's face. He is not too happy. President Snow, Corleone Snow is not too happy. Now right here is the other tributes parade. And they're on fire again in a way, but the dresses look like they changed in this. And now right here, you see Katniss and Cinna right before she goes back into the arena. And here she comes right up here. You see the arena, it turns around. You see the cornucopia right in the middle on an island. And you see water, and you see things. Now, huge spoiler, when you hear people hear tick-tock, tick-tock, I'm just going to say that much. I'm not going to say why this arena looks like that. It's in the woods with it's basically like on an isthmus. They filmed this part in Hawaii, which I knew what they were doing when I heard they were filming in Hawaii. So this here, right here, you see Katniss right here. There's the cornucopia, all the weapons. There's water, but it's salt water. I will say that. So, but I will say this arena right here will you cannot stay in the same spot the whole time, because this arena will make you keep running. Trust me. If you read the book, you know exactly what I'm talking about, so I won't use that spoiler right there. But this arena is more deadly than the arena in the previous film. This arena is more deadly.
Remember who the real enemy is.
And Woody Harrelson saying, remember who the real enemy is. So, this is the new trailer for Catching Fire. Comes out November 22nd. If there's a new Thor trailer, I'll talk about that. If there's a new Captain America trailer, I'll talk about that. Captain America, I don't expect to have a trailer for that until November when Thor comes out. But Marvel's about to hit the stage pretty soon at Comic-Con. And you know they're going to have something big. Marvel always hits it big at Comic-Con. So, this is the new trailer for Catching Fire. Tell me what you think. Are you planning on seeing it? I think this looks... They had a bigger production budget for this film, so it looks bigger and better. I admit, the arena... When I read the scenes in the arena, it was very intense. So anyhow, comment below. Tell me about what you think of Catching Fire. If you... Like I said, if you want to watch the trailer, put in another picture right here so you can watch it along with me as I comment along with it. Okay? I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.